Some sad news we want to turn to now. Legendary actor Robert Duvall died in his Virginia home last night.
In February 2026, the world was shocked to bid farewell to the icon Robert Duvall.
Your father would want to hear this. This is business, not personal.
They shot my father. It's business.
Even the shooting of your father was business, not personal, Sonny.
The passing of this Godfather star at the age of 95 immediately brought a wave of doubts and unsolved mysteries.
You're a legend, man. Thanks for your work, sir.
Thank you.
Godfather's one of my dad's favorite movies. He watched it a million times.
Oh, good, good.
Amid the media chaos at 88 years old, Dustin Hoffman, a soulmate bound to him for nearly a century, decided to step into the light.
We almost got into fistfights over, we each had a different acting teacher. Bob Duvall had Sandy Meisner, a great acting teacher.
For the first time, he publicly revealed the truth behind Duvall's final moments. What truly happened at the secluded ranch in Virginia. The nearly 70-year secret between the two cinematic icons was just unveiled, exposing all the hidden corners that Hollywood had always tried to conceal for decades. On February 15, 2026, the entire global cinema world was shocked to receive sad news from the state of Virginia. Cinematic icon Robert Duvall officially drew his last breath at his private home in the Middleburg area, closing a glorious 95-year life journey. Luciana Pedraza, his wife, 41 years his junior, who had been by his side for over 2 decades, spoke up to confirm the official announcement to the media. The passing of the legendary actor stemmed from old age and frailty, occurring extremely gently and peacefully. In the face of false rumors spreading on social media about a sudden accident or a secret terminal illness, the family immediately spoke out to refute them. All streams of misleading information were swiftly extinguished to protect his dignity. A family representative affirmed that Robert Duvall passed away in a peaceful space at his private ranch in rural Virginia. The final moments of the actor's life were filled with the constant presence, care, and total love from his wife and close relatives. This sad news quickly created a deep wave of mourning from colleagues and devout audiences across the globe. Immediately, all media attention shifted to Dustin Hoffman, the actor currently at the age of 88 and the last surviving soulmate. Speaking before the press, Dustin Hoffman could not hide his emotion as he choked back tears, recalling a friendship spanning nearly 7 decades. The special bond between the two began in the 1950s, when they were still unknown actors struggling together to find their place. Returning to memories of the dilapidated apartment on 109th Street in New York, Hoffman nostalgically recalled the freezing winter days of the past. The actor shared, "We used to share every old blanket and give each other every piece of bread to get through the winter together." That soulmate friendship was forged through poverty and trials throughout decades of dedication to the seventh art. Hoffman affirmed that whether reaching the peak of fame or owning an Oscar statuette, Robert Duvall always retained his inherently resilient and straightforward nature. Until the final days of his life, the passionate love Duvall had for cinema never cooled down. He still maintained the habit of keeping up with new works, continuously discussing acting techniques with colleagues with an intact flame of passion.
Melts in your mouth.
You tried it?
No.
How you know it melts in your mouth?
Expressing deep respect for the steadfast character of his old friend Hoffman, emotionally stated, "Bob was a person who never compromised with pretense. He lived and dedicated himself to cinema with absolute sincerity until the very last minute." The passing of Robert Duvall occurred after another close friend in the group, Gene Hackman, passed away earlier in 2025. This continuous loss marks a huge void, leaving infinite grief for contemporary cinema. This painful event officially closed the brilliant golden era of the 109th Street apartment legendary trio. All 3 poor young men, once deemed useless back in the day, have now magnificently completed their mission and become immortal icons of Hollywood. Closing a brilliant 95-year journey, Robert Duvall goes down in history as an immortal icon. But before reaching prestigious awards, his life originally started from absolute zero. In 1955, the young veteran set foot in New York empty-handed and with a doubted dream. The dilapidated apartment on 109th Street was precisely the place that nurtured the determination of a guy once considered useless. The useless prediction. Robert Duvall was born on January 5, 1931, in the city of San Diego, California, into an exceptionally illustrious military family. His father was United States Navy Admiral William Howard Duvall, who always expected his son to continue the family's military career. After completing his military service in the United States Army, Robert Duvall stood at a fateful turning point. Defying the fierce opposition from his admiral father, he was determined to pivot toward the risky path of the seventh art. In 1955, the young actor decided to leave his hometown to move to New York City to build his career. He officially enrolled in a professional acting training course at the prestigious Neighborhood Playhouse Academy under the guidance of legendary teacher Sanford Meisner. Right in this harsh artistic environment, Robert Duvall met two kindred spirits, Dustin Hoffman and Gene Hackman. All three quickly became close, as they shared a burning passion for acting in the middle of an extremely expensive New York metropolis. To save on the soaring living costs in Manhattan, the trio decided to move in together in a cramped apartment on West 109th Street. This old, dilapidated room quickly became the temporary headquarters of three poor young men struggling to find their place. To earn money for rent and cover acting tuition, Robert Duvall had to work all sorts of grueling manual jobs. He spent a long time working as a night mail sorter at the city post office and as a warehouse clerk for the retail giant Macy's. Not stopping there, Duvall did not hesitate to take jobs driving brick trucks and serving at restaurants. Every day he slept only a few hours, seizing his scarce free time to study scripts and attend theater auditions. Their careers became even more obscure when the Pasadena Playhouse Art School issued a harsh assessment. The institution rated Gene Hackman and Dustin Hoffman at a record low 1.4 out of 10, concluding that they were the individuals least likely to succeed. Robert Duvall himself constantly received harsh rejections from prominent directors on Broadway. His prematurely old, gaunt appearance, lacking the standard romantic flair of a screen star, left him completely excluded from leading roles. Perseverance in the face of poverty finally bore fruit. From a guy specializing in obscure supporting roles, Duvall made an unprecedented leap, single-handedly carving his name into the legendary temple of world cinema with roles that changed Hollywood history. The legendary Godfather of Hollywood. In 1962, Robert Duvall made the first cinematic breakthrough of his career with the role of Boo Radley in the classic film To Kill a Mockingbird. Although making only a brief appearance at the end of the film, he still astonished film critics. To fully embody the reclusive albino character, Duvall made a huge sacrifice in terms of physical appearance. He agreed to bleach his entire hair platinum blonde and absolutely refrained from stepping out into the sunlight for months. His dedication to method acting brought an extraordinarily authentic and haunting image of Boo Radley to the screen. This role immediately opened the door into the ranks of Hollywood's most talented actors. The 1960s continued to witness Duvall's powerful transformation through a series of major cinematic projects. He continuously collaborated with prestigious directors, affirming his versatile ability to embody a wide variety of highly complex psychological roles. By 1972, Robert Duvall's career officially exploded to new heights when he agreed to join director Francis Ford Coppola's masterpiece, The Godfather. He took on the role of Tom Hagen, the adopted son and legal advisor of the Corleone family. Amid a cast of distinctive actors like Marlon Brando or Al Pacino, Duvall still created a unique mark thanks to his calm acting style. The character Tom Hagen demonstrated shrewdness, coldness, but deep loyalty through every sharp glance and gesture. The resounding success of The Godfather and The Godfather Part 2 brought Duvall's name global coverage. The work not only swept the box office, but also earned him his first Oscar nomination. Not stopping at calm psychological roles, Duvall continued to explode onto the big screen with the 1979 war project Apocalypse Now. Director Coppola once again handed him the extremely autocratic role of Lieutenant Colonel Bill Kilgore. Embodying an officer passionate about surfing amidst a brutal battlefield, Duvall created an immortal cinematic icon. The madness and arrogance of the character were fully portrayed through his every gesture and stern voice. In this film, Duvall delivered the classic quote that went down in world cinema history, "I love the smell of napalm in the morning." This scene instantly became a pop culture legacy. The pinnacle performance in Apocalypse Now earned him a BAFTA award, along with a subsequent Oscar nomination. International critics unanimously recognized Robert Duvall as one of the finest actors of genuine talent of the era. Entering the 1980s, Duvall continued to seek new challenges instead of repeating old successful templates. In 1983, he decided to take on the lead role of Max Sledge in the independent drama film Tender Mercies. His character was a down-on-his-luck former country singer making efforts to rebuild his life in a remote rural area. To portray the role in the most authentic way, Duvall performed all the songs in the movie himself. He spent months driving across the state of Texas to study the accent and demeanor of local musicians. Meticulousness in every small detail helped the character Max Sledge touch the hearts of millions of audience members. His wholehearted dedication to art finally bore fruit at the 1983 Academy Awards. After many regrettable near misses, Robert Duvall was officially named Best Actor in a Leading Role. This historic victory not only affirmed his top position in Hollywood, but also proved the stature of a genius. Throughout the 3 decades from the 1960s to the 1980s, he built a massive collection of roles. As brilliant as his glory on screen was, Robert Duvall's life behind the lens was equally tempestuous. Cracks in his private life and decades of loneliness turned him into one of the most enigmatic figures when it came to romance. Stormy love life. In 1962, during the filming of To Kill a Mockingbird, Duvall met his first wife, Barbara Benjamin, for the first time. She was a former dancer and a famous television producer at the time. The two officially married in 1964 and began an extremely peaceful period of marriage lasting over a decade. Although they had no children together, Duvall always loved and devotedly cared for Barbara's 2 daughters from a previous relationship. Still, the pressures of fame, along with a dense filming schedule in Hollywood, gradually widened the distance between the two. By 1975, after 11 years of living closely together, his first marriage officially came to an end. Entering the 1980s, Robert Duvall found new harmony alongside young actress Gail Youngs. The two hit it off while collaborating and working on the film project Tender Mercies, which brought him the prestigious Oscar statuette. In 1982, the two decided to get married with the blessings of numerous friends and colleagues. Even so, this second marriage lasted for a mere 4 years before reaching the decision to divorce in 1986. After consecutive heartbreaks, the actor entered his third marriage with beauty Sharon Brophy in 1991. She was a professional tango dancer who ignited in Duvall a passionate love for the South American dance. Although sharing many common artistic interests, the relationship between the two still could not overcome differences in life perspectives. This marriage quickly ended in 1995, marking the third breakup in his life. Having gone through 3 bitter divorces, the greatest sorrow in Robert Duvall's heart was having no biological children. Although loving children very much, he had to accept the harsh reality arranged by fate over many decades. Opening up about the prolonged loneliness behind the spotlight, Duvall once bitterly confided in an interview, I used to think I would remain lonely in an empty house in my old age, without a complete family. When all hope for a peaceful home seemed extinguished, a fateful turning point occurred in 1997. During a stroll in the city of Buenos Aires, Argentina, he accidentally met young woman Luciana Pedraza. The chance encounter at a small bakery quickly became the beginning of a miraculous love story. Although 41 years younger than Duvall, Luciana possessed maturity and a soul deeply attuned to the veteran actor. Even more special, the two also discovered an astonishing coincidence in sharing the exact same birthday on January 5th. This random coincidence further strengthened faith in the destined fate between the two souls. Speaking about the record age gap between the two, Duvall once smiled and shared with the press, "The age gap has never been a barrier because we live together with absolute understanding and respect." After 8 years of companionship and deep understanding, Robert Duvall and Luciana Pedraza officially held a wedding in 2005. This fourth marriage brought him the greatest peace and the sturdiest anchor of his life. Luciana was not only a devoted wife, but also a soulmate who accompanied him in a series of film as well as charitable projects. Her tender care saved the legendary actor from lonely days in the evening of his life. It was this sincere and enduring love that helped Duvall rediscover the complete joy of living throughout the final 2 decades of his life. He devoted himself entirely to art without being haunted any longer by past wounds. Possessing top fame and a huge fortune, nevertheless, instead of choosing the colorful lights of Los Angeles, Robert Duvall decided to turn his back on Hollywood to build a peaceful empire in a completely different way. A life-defying Hollywood. After more than 60 years of tireless dedication to the seventh art, Robert Duvall accumulated an estimated net worth of up to $70 million USD. This was a well-deserved result from a series of Hollywood blockbuster contracts alongside independent production projects. Even with a massive financial fortune, Duvall never let money or luxury dictate his career decisions. He always prioritized script quality and artistic value over handsome compensation from major studios. In the early 1990s, when the peak of his fame was at its most brilliant, the actor made a surprising decision. He chose to leave behind the noisy atmosphere of Los Angeles to seek a completely quiet living space. Duvall spent a large sum of money to acquire Burnley Farm, spanning over 360 acres in the rural area of Middleburg, Virginia. The main house at the farm was an ancient historic 18th-century architectural structure. Here he personally tended to horses, raised livestock, and enjoyed a peaceful space far removed from showbiz gossip. A life immersed in nature helped the actor maintain a resilient physical condition and a sharp mind for decades. American media repeatedly recognized Duvall as one of the rare stars who firmly said no to partying habits. He candidly expressed his disgust toward the pretense on red carpets and lavish award galas. Sharing his distinct life perspective with the media, Robert Duvall once affirmed, "I am an actor, not an entertainment star. My job is to live fully with the role, not to perform on the red carpet." Alongside his passion for acting, the 1990s also marked his passionate love for the tango dance. Duvall frequently traveled to the capital city of Buenos Aires to deeply study South American culture and traditional dance steps. This passion was so intense that in 2002, he personally wrote the screenplay, directed, and starred in the film Assassination Tango. The work received high praise from experts thanks to its authentic and subtle perspective. Not merely engaging in solitary artistic endeavors, he and his wife Luciana Pedraza also established the Robert Duvall Children's Fund in 2001. This fund actively operates to support education and health care for poor families in rural Argentina. Returning to the farm in Virginia after his trips, Duvall always maintained an extremely strict athletic training routine. Discipline helped him maintain peak form and continue accepting roles in many film projects well into his advanced age. Unlike many peers of his era who chose early retirement, Duvall tirelessly dedicated himself to cinema well into his 90s. His extraordinary resilience became a shining example for many young generations of actors in Hollywood to learn from. In 2022, at the age of 91, the actor still made an impressive comeback in the sports drama film Hustle, alongside actor Adam Sandler. That same year, he continued to appear in the thriller work The Pale Blue Eye, co-starring Christian Bale. His subtle acting style and elegant demeanor in the final works of his career continued to receive countless compliments. Press critics remarked that Duvall's mastery of the camera never showed signs of fading over time. Speaking about his enduring motivation to work at an exceptionally rare age, he once confided, "The art of acting is my breath. As long as my heart is beating, I will continue to stand in front of the camera to give my all to the audience." Over half a century of steadfastly following his own path, Robert Duvall built a completely distinct, iconic empire. He proved that true talent and honesty with oneself are the values that endure eternally in Hollywood. The passing of Robert Duvall, alongside tributes from Dustin Hoffman, officially closed a legendary chapter of world cinema. His massive artistic legacy and resilient spirit will always serve as a beacon for future generations. Among Robert Duvall's countless iconic roles, from the calm advisor Tom Hagen to the wild Lieutenant Colonel Kilgore, which character left the deepest impression in your heart? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below to remember him together. If you appreciate authentic and profound cinematic documentary stories, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notification bells to not miss upcoming content. Thank you for your companionship, goodbye, and see you again.